Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Up the River, Down the Bayou. I'm Eric Ritchie, your host. We're safe and sound here in Destrehan, and we certainly hope wherever you are watching our show today, you are as well after a rough week in South Louisiana. Hurricane Francine came in, did her damage, and left. Thank goodness she's gone, but now it's time to pick up the pieces, literally and figuratively, as we regroup and get back to football here in South Louisiana. We've got a great show for you in store today. We've got head coach LaVanta Davis from St. James. We'll go down the bayou and bring in Covenant Christian coach Jesse Turner, fresh off a big win on Sunday at Nichols. We'll also feature a team of the week. It will be our Farm Bureau team of the week. This week we had over to St. John Parish and check in with those East St. John Wildcats. And as always, we close the show with a blast from the past as we dig through the archives and find one of those old River Parish or Bayou videos that we did back in the day. But without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this show off as we go up the river and check in with St. James head coach LaVanta Davis. He also the athletic director joining us. Coach, first of all, thanks so much for fitting us in your schedule. I know it's been a wild week for all of us, but thanks so much. What's it been like for you? First and foremost, how are things with you, your home, and your school and your program?
Yeah, first I want to just thank you for having me on, Eric. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. But everything is everything considering. No real major damage. Just was without power like many in the area. So just anxious to get back to a sense of normalcy.
Well, we're happy to hear that, and we're glad to have you on. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you. We've been doing this since your days at West St. John when we started River Parish football back in 2010. Hard to believe it's been 14 years we've been doing this, Coach. 14 years. But I know first and foremost, let's just get to where your program's at. What was the week for you? What was it like when Hurricane Francine came in, obviously on Wednesday? You were scheduled to play the Railroad Classic in West St. John. That couldn't happen. So now you're regrouped, getting ready for your home opener. You played Terrebonne this Friday. But first of all, take us through last week, what it was like for you and your program to deal with another hurricane and to lose week 2 on your schedule.
Yeah, just a lot of uncertainty. Just try to get as much work in and be sensitive to those in need as possible without basically being selfish, focusing on football. But obviously it was out of our hand. Mother Nature ran its course, and unfortunately we had to cancel our game. But now we just moving on to this challenge in this Terrebonne team.
I guess if you can kind of set the stage for this year's Wildcats. And again, for those that aren't familiar, this is a team we're talking about that went to the Division III non-select state championship game just a year ago, finishing as the state runner-up. The year before, your first year as the head coach at St. James, all the way to the semifinals. I know you've got a very talented team again, but you got a lot of new faces. And, you started off with a big win, shutout against East St. John, 20-0. Tell us about some of the names this year that we should be familiar with these Wildcats, as it's really a new look, obviously, and it starts at quarterback with the job that Braden Williams had done for so long. What's your situation there? I know a couple of guys have been vying for that spot. And, give us some names. Who should we know about the Wildcats in 2024?
Yeah, I always like to give kudos to my assistant coaches, man. They just do a good job, making me look good, to be honest with you. We lost a lot, as you just stated. We were a senior-laden team last year, so we have a lot of youth in the areas on this ball club. Right now, I'm always a fan and always a true believer of the game is won up front. But we only have one senior along the offensive line, and Andre Moeller, who's our center. And on the defensive side, we have a Gerald Jones, we have a young kid in Xavier Anderson, and we have a strong side in Caleb Williams, who's been doing well. Kid that's relishing his opportunity to leave his mark in St. James football history. At the running back position, we return Kanai King Young, who's doing good. We have a young kid in Kendrick Joseph, who's looking to do some good things for us. Obviously, on the outside, we have Jakias Villanova, along with Kanye Zenon at the receiver position. And to fill Braden's shoes, right now we're starting with our 9th grader freshman, Juwan Jackson, who played his first game against East St. John, which was in inclement weather, and did real well. On the defensive side, we have Chaden Parker, senior linebacker. We have a youngster, and Mr. Zenon, and at the Sam Backer, and at the Will Backer, we playing with a kid in Christian Turley. We have a little experience at the safety position with Jarrell Williams, and a sophomore in Jai Blaine, who plays corner and safety for us. And on the outside, we have Gary White, who brings some experience at the corner position, and then a young kid in Darryl Jasmine, who's been doing well. So that's the makeup of our team. Again, we're extremely young in a lot of areas, and we're just looking forward to the challenges of reloading. That's what's been our mantra. We reloaded this year, and now we're just looking to take it one game at a time.
Coach, excellent job of kind of going through some of those names that we're going to see for the Wildcats this year. You started it all off by giving props to your assistant coaches and what a great job that they do. I can tell you that firsthand. All the practices that I go out there, and when I head out to I say new St. James Stadium, right? We just celebrated the 10-year anniversary. Hard to believe. But, man, your coaches are intense. Everybody's coaching, right? Every area that I go to. Obviously, the guys that I've known, for as long as you, Ronald Barrio, your offensive line coach, your running game coordinator, Morel Bartholomew, I've known since he was a player at West St. John, wide receiver. He's with you. But, talk about your coaches, and I guess it starts with your coordinators. Herbert Washington, your offensive coordinator, Burnell Taylor, again, does such a good job on the defensive side. Jonathan Bauman as well, another special teams guy. Tell me about your assistant coaches and why they're so important for you at St. James.
Yeah, it's all about continuity. All of these guys have been around for a while. And I always have a term that we say, coaching is teaching, and teaching is the ability to inspire learning, right? And we make it a purpose to just develop a relationship with the kids, to have the ability to coach them hard and be intense with them. If you don't approach the practice field prepared and with energy and enthusiasm, we have an issue with that. So we kind of put emphasis on how we attack the field on a daily basis, because the kids respond to that. Like, as you stated, our offense coordinator, Herbert Washington, run game coordinator, offensive line coach, Coach Barrio, running back coach, special teams coordinator, and Jonathan Bauman. We have our receivers coach, Morel Bartholomew. On the defensive side, we have our cornerbacks coach, Jared Byers. Safety coaches and Coach Tevis Smith and Coach Dax Johnson. The defense coordinator, Coach Burnell Taylor, our linebackers coach, Coach Percy Cargo, and all those guys coincide to do a good job for us, man. And I think we don't have many egos on the staff. I allow the guys to do their job. I don't micromanage. And so far, so good. So far, so good. And those guys put a tremendous amount of time in preparing our kids to go out there and be in position to be successful.
Tell us, if you would, about your coaching style and your philosophy, your background as a coach. I guess tell us the story about how you got into coaching, and then how would you describe your coaching style?
I actually got into coaching. I was a basketball guy, to be honest with you. And then I'll be remiss without acknowledging my guy that was one of my brothers who passed a year or so ago, not too long ago, and Coach Antoine Carter, who was at me throughout my coaching tenure. He's the guy that really challenged me to get into coaching, to be honest with you, in Baton Rouge at Estruma High School. And from that, went on to be an assistant at Estruma High School. Stood out in the Baton Rouge area for a while, coaching basketball as well as football. Made a transition to Scotlandville High School as an assistant initially with Coach Richard Oliver, before meeting up with Coach Robert Valdez, another guy who's been instrumental into my career. Transitioned over with him to West St. John. And then from that moment forward, I've been with Coach Valdez throughout the duration. Made another trip back to Scotlandville High after leaving West St. John. And when Coach Valdez left there, then was able to be hired as the head football coach at Scotlandville. And that propelled my head coaching career.
Tell us about those 2 years, Coach. You were there 2 years. I think you went 21-3. You went to the state championship in Division I and the state semifinals. You've done the same thing actually in your 2 years at St. James, finals 1 year, semifinals another. But what was it like at Scotlandville, those 2 years with such success in your record and getting to the top of the mountain in Division I?
All credit to God, to be honest with you, just, for allowing me to have those opportunities. I'm a faith-based guy, and I know without him, none of that stuff is possible. Again, inherited a talented ball club with Levi Lewis at the quarterback position, just a natural-born leader. Who's a special young man. Still have a relationship with Levi to this day. Had some good coaches around me as well. Just was a matter of just putting everything together. A lot of things went our way. You have to be healthy. You have to be blessed. We overcame some adversity there and was able to not get the job done, but at least do something that hadn't been done there in a long time. When Coach Valdez left, he didn't leave the cupboard bare. So we was able to just not reinvent the wheel and continue to build on some of the things. And obviously, you asked about my coaching style. I'm all about trying to surround myself with quality men, just quality people that truly love young men and love doing the job that they do and want to impact lives through sport. And I think if we can do that and continue to build a relationship with these young men, I mean, you get them to do some tremendous things for you. They have the old adage, they don't care about how much you know until they truly know about how much you care. And I believe in that, in developing relationships, because to me, it's always bigger than football. It's always bigger than sports. It's about developing these young men into men, better husbands, better fathers. And I guess that's when you find your purpose and your passion. It's not like going to work. So if I have any type of coaching style, it's just develop relationships and allow guys to do their job.
Well, you've done a great job with that. You've certainly surrounded yourself with quality men. I can attest to that firsthand. All right, let's get back to it. Again, back to work this week against Terrebonne. But in the big picture, I want to ask you about your non-district schedule in the weeks to come. I mean, teams like St. Charles, McDonough 35, Shaw, but it starts this Friday against Terrebonne. So I guess two-part question, Coach. Overall, the strength of the schedule is awesome. Tell us about that. And then secondly, prepare us for your game this Friday at home, Wildcat Stadium, taking on Terrebonne.
Yeah, you look at the makeup of our schedule. It's not easy scheduling games, man. We really try to schedule within the area to try to not have to travel so far. I feel like we have enough teams within the area, but unfortunately, we weren't able to do so. So we have Terrebonne, then we followed up by Ponchatoula, then St. Charles, Shaw following St. Charles, and then we close out with a talented McDonough 35 team. So right before we start district, and then to top that off, we start district with Donsonville. So it's the schedule is what it is.
Yeah.
Coaches are excited about it. The kids are excited about it. But we're just going to take it 1 week at a time. That's all we can do. One day at a time, one practice at a time. And just keep focused on the mission at hand. And that's to be better every week. And it starts against a real physical, huge team, coached by Coach Tyler Lewis at Terrebonne.
Set us up with that game, and I know you're familiar with Coach Ty. I think he's been on the same staff with you. I know he's got deep roots in the River Parish as a West St. John guy. He's also at St. James. Tell us about this matchup Friday night between Terrebonne and St. James.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a physical ball club. He has a real talented team, two really good backs, a solid quarterback that's athletic and can throw the football as well. And they're huge up front on both sides of the ball. So we have our hands full with this group. With the job that Coach Tyler Lewis is doing over at Terrebonne is a really good job. Actually had the opportunity to coach Coach Lewis when I first got to West St. John his senior year, and had the opportunity to coach with him. So there's a lot of familiarity with that. But they're a talented ball club. They propose a real challenge for us, and we're going to have to be prepared.
Coach, let me shift gears and ask you as a coach, how rewarding is it when you're on a Saturday watching a big game and you see a guy that you coached, like you're about to coach a player, a opposite sideline of a player that you coached at West St. John, coaching up against his team. On Saturday, you see guys like a Shaz Preston when his days at Alabama, now at Tulane, and hopefully getting him back on the field soon. But then Savion Jones, he's got 3 sacks already this season and was such an instrumental part of that 2019 state championship team at St. James. What does that do for you as a coach, and how proud are you when you see all that work that you put into these guys, the work that they did, and it's all paying off on Saturdays?
You know, all those young men you just named, man, they're better young men than they are football players. That's without question, first and foremost. So their parents did an amazing job raising them. They're real respectable, hardworking young men who I had the opportunity to develop real good relationships with them. You know, being in the weight room with them, the strength conditioning coach over here. Prior to me coming here, prior to Coach Valdez departing, I spent a lot of time inside the weight room and was able to cultivate relationships in that weight room with those young men. And you talking about kids that work hard and deserve everything that they're getting right now. So, you know, I'm just excited for their families. I'm excited for them. And I think the sky's the limit. I mean, when you talk about a Savion Jones, just a humble kid, it's kind of good to see him come out of his shell and start to show a little bit more emotion as he's on the field, and to be able to play the position that he's been designed to play at the defensive end, and him having success in LSU's defensive system. And Shaz, I just pray for help for the young man. I think he's done everything the right way. If you, and I'm quite sure you have a relationship with Shaz. He's just a tremendous young man, and just was fortunate to have the opportunity to coach a good group of young men, as well as Kai Prehan, and I can go down the list. I don't want to leave any of those kids out. But I can go down the list of kids that we still have relationships with till this day, you know, and we just have a good group of kids that came through here.
Well, it's been awesome watching those players develop under guidance of coaches like yourself. We'll leave you with one question, and Coach will kind of just open up and give you an open mic question. What would you like people to know about you, your program, just anything that you'd like people to know when they think St. James Wildcat football or Coach Davis? What do you want them to know? Gonna build and run the program with integrity. You know, treat every kid in the program as if they're our own. Once they cross that line and become a student athlete here, they understand they belong to us, and we love them as if they were our own. Just gonna treat the kids with the utmost respect, treat them as young men, and develop them both on and off the field. So, and it's like I said, it's bigger than football. It's about developing young men, and just know that your child will be held to a standard of doing things with integrity and character, and just helping, developing those young men to the young men that they need to be, with a strong emphasis on developing a relationship with God. Well put. And Coach, it's been a pleasure to cover you over the last 14 years. As we said, hard to believe back in 2010 at West St. John is when we all started this thing, but continued success. Glad you got through the hurricane okay. Good luck this week against a very strong Terrebonne team, and continued success the rest of the way. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day, and always a pleasure to talk to you.
Likewise, Eric. Thanks for having me. And look, thanks for the job that you do with this high school athletics, man. It's a good deal.
I appreciate it. Right back at you. All right, let's take a break here on Up the River. And guess what? It's time to go down the bayou when we return here on this show brought to you by St. James Parish Hospital. We're back with Coach Turner after this quick timeout. Did you know St. James Parish Hospital's ER was recently recognized by the American Heart Association for heart attack and stroke care? When minutes count, choose St. James Parish Hospital in Letcher for emergencies. Award-winning quality care close to home.
Hi, I'm Chris Hogan with Farm Bureau. Real service, real people.
Hi, I'm Andreas Hackman with Farm Bureau. I'd like to wish all the athletes in the river parishes a safe season.
Hi, I'm Robert Palmisano with Farm Bureau. We've been protecting families for over 75 years in the river parishes. Your friends for life.
Darius Coleman, Louisiana Farm Bureau, your company for auto, home, and life.
I'm Will Sermon with St. Charles St. John Parish Farm Bureau. We provide outstanding customer service. Our amazing staff and in-house claims adjusters assure that you'll be taken care of in your time of need. Real service, real people. Proudly serving Louisiana families for over 70 years.
At South Louisiana Bank, we're great at banking, but we're great at a lot of other stuff too.
Is that a new rod and reel?
Hey, a girl's got a fish.
We care about the community we live in and the people we serve. We're not just like you. We are you.
Are you boiling crawfish?
No, just letting them soak.
We're proud to be here and work for the place and the people we love. South Louisiana Bank. It's in the name.
Welcome back to the program. It is time to go down the bayou, and we head down to Houma, and we go to Covenant Christian Academy and bring in their head football coach, Jesse Turner. Coach Turner, first of all, man, what a week. Yeah. So happy to have you on the show. First of all, bring us up to date on how your home, your players, and the area came out from Hurricane Francine.
Yeah, for me personally, man, we didn't really get too much damage to the home. Just a little fence, down here and there, but that's minor, things that can be fixed. Just receive electricity maybe Saturday morning, and we still got some kids who are out of power and some coaches as well. But again, man, those guys are tough, man. They fight through adversity. There's always challenging times during these months, especially in South Louisiana, where there's always a threat of a hurricane. So. We always, and the guys are prepared for it, man. Some of these guys got top-notch generators, so they're not complaining as much. But I don't have it, so they had some hot nights for me and my family where we had to sweat a little bit, man. But it was all good. It was all good. I guess I can say that. It's good now. I'm gonna say this. Sometimes we take those things for granted, just like electricity and stuff like that. And when that power first come on, you just give so much thanks to the man above, man, just to have that. Because we take a lot of things for granted in life, man, and I guess that's one of them. So now I include in my prayers is just, just thanking him for lights, thanking him for air, just thanking him for, all types of things like that. So, yeah.
I'll add on and thank him for the fan right now that's on.
Yeah.
All these great things that we're very thankful for, and we do not want to take for granted at all. You said it. It ended up on a good note when you win 42-7 Sunday at Nichols. We're going to show highlights in a little bit, but first, I want to ask you, what was it like once the hurricane hit on Wednesday? You kind of had some time to assess the damage, power out most of the Bayou area. How did that game come about? And I know all the work that you guys did, your administration did, props to you guys for getting that game off. Again, we'll get into the game in a minute, but give us the background on how that game came about at Guidry Stadium on a Sunday.
Well, first you want to know, you want to know where all your kids were at, make sure they were safe, make sure their family was okay. And then we started talking about football games, talking about preparation, football practice. And once I posted it, once I say, hey, I'm looking to have a practice here, once I found that everybody was safe, I got instant feedback. So I'm all right, okay, let's go. So we're good on our end. Then I reached out to the opponent, Coach Aaron Batten, who does a phenomenal job of keeping his kids together. And they had it tough, especially on that side of town. And he wanted to play the game as well, but it still was questions. How will we do it? There was no power at each stadium at the time we were talking. When will we play? Will we play Saturday? Will we play, do we think about moving it to Sunday? And then just looking at the days of practice that we, both would be able to have, we decided to play it on a Sunday. And I'm so glad that both parts, win, lose, or draw, I'm so glad that both parts played, me and Coach Babin and his staff and my staff, and we decided to play the game, man, because those seniors, man, like I said, we take a lot of things for granted, and one game is a lot, especially for these seniors, man. So we wanted to have a full 10-week schedule. We knew this was a big game for us, for sure. This was one we had circled. It was a challenge, but I'm glad we got it done.
Well, thanks from all of us at VSN for guys like yourself, Troy Jackson, the assistant principal, for coordinating that with us and allowing us to live stream the game. And Paul Boron and Coach Don Rodrigue did a great job calling the action. Let's go ahead and check out some of the highlights. And I don't have defensive highlights here. I've got a lot of touchdowns, but this ends a big drive to start us off, a touchdown, a long drive, and that set the tone.
Yeah. We've been having challenges in the red zone and the goal line in the past. And that's one thing we emphasized throughout this week and throughout the fall, like the beginning of the fall, that we got to punch it in. So we was creative with a few packages here. We got 190-pound back Carson Hebert right there. Right here we got Jaden Carter. Just a few little wrinkles just to put the ball in our playmakers' hand quick. And up front did real well when we got to the goal line, and they were able to punch it in.
Yeah, you're going to get a big pass here to set up a touchdown. I think it's one of the two from Lolly. But let me ask you about the offensive line and your defensive line, because it seemed like you guys controlled the trenches from the parts that I watched of this game on VSN up front. You won it in the trenches. The O-line, D-line, what a job they did.
100%. And coming into the season, man, I'm going to be honest, if anybody asked me what was the weakness of our team, I would say up front. And it wasn't because of those guys. Right, those guys can play. Those guys play hard, and we definitely trust those guys and have a lot of confidence. It's just the depth. We don't have many of them. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do our part to keep those guys healthy, making sure they're in shape, make sure they're lifting, especially during the season, and just getting their bodies right. But those guys do a tremendous job week in and week out for us, and I can't say enough about them. Definitely, the game ball goes to up front for sure on both sides of the ball.
No doubt. And look, if you're watching these highlights right now, you're like, man, I watched the game and, those were pretty good, but there was like another play, like we saw Carter score one touchdown. Didn't Jaden make a great catch? Well, we got that catch too. And I want to show you this because I set that aside by itself. So Justin, roll this catch. Tell me about this from your nephew, Jaden Carter, making this play.
Definitely my nephew, man. But he's doing amazing things. What I definitely liked first was the throw. All right, he gave the receiver opportunity to catch the ball. Jaden ran a great route, leaving himself some space, leaving the quarterback room for error there. But he played through contact, and this saying been going around for a while. Playmakers make plays, and that's what he does, man. Every time he gets that opportunity, man, he takes full advantage of it. To me, he's one of the better athletes in the state. He just he's just not getting looked at a lot by the colleges right now, but I do expect that to change in the future. So but he's definitely a great playmaker.
Definitely wanted to highlight that and get him some much needed, much deserved exposure 100%. For those college coaches to check out him, his brother making big plays as well. Tell us about some of these offensive skilled position players that really deserve some more limelight.
The one that deserved the more limelight is number 5, Connor Lally. We always talk about Jaden Carter, Carson Hebert, Jahari Carter, Bailey Streams, and he rarely get the recognition that he deserves, man, but he's our bell cow. I don't know the official stats, being that it was a Sunday. Normally I'll have them Saturday morning, but, being that we are in school now, it's kind of tough to get it done. But I did expect him to rush for over 100 yards and just set the tone. I thought that first drive he ran so tough, and it just set the tone for the whole game. And that's one of the guys we definitely lean on, man. And he comes to work every day. He loves the game. He played the game the right way. And that's what we're looking for in the football player here at CCA. But again, you got the Carter brothers, you got Bailey Streams. Every time he touches it too, he's a very physical, big receiver. And he can go up and get it with the best. So it's a lot of talent on that side of the ball. And I can't forget about Owen Trustclair as well. He actually, for us, that's our quarterback, Owen Trustclair. For us, last year, he played defensive end. And believe it or not, he played offensive guard and made all district in both. And he's just he's a tough kid. And I don't call him a quarterback. I don't call him a defensive end, linebacker. He's a football player. And I love him. He played with such an edge. He played with such passion. So he's doing a tremendous job. And his brother, I think you said the Lally brothers, when he broke a tackle and kind of threw it through the seam down the middle, that was brother to brother. Peyton Trustclair, number 27. Defensively, oh my God, but offensively as well, just lead block and sealing the edge or catching the ball in the flat or up the seam. He's another guy that we count on the offensive side, man. So we definitely got a lot of weapons. We're excited about that. And the best thing about those guys, they're unselfish. They block for each other. We get the ball in the perimeter a lot. And, that's a great thing. So we're excited for those guys for sure.
I know it was an exciting start to the season last year. It did not end the way that you wanted it to. You're off to another great start. A couple of big wins. You beat Thomas Jefferson to open up the season. 2-0 start now. You're going on the road to Ascension Christian. I saw the interview that you did afterwards with our good friends over there at Bayou Sports. And the thing that I took from that interview was, what is the standard? What is the standard is what you ask. Are we going to be happy with these great starts and just kind of, or are we going to make a push and have a great regular season and make a strong run in the playoffs? And tell us, if you can, a little bit about that.
The standard. So, I follow coaches. I'm one of those guys who wants to be the best at, everything that I do. I want to provide a good atmosphere and a good culture for our kids. And I follow Mike Tomlin a lot. And he always say the standard is the standard. But he's a Pittsburgh Steelers coach. And I'm trying to figure out what is that standard, right? And I approach that to my kids, like, what is the standard here at CCA? If we get a incoming freshman, step foot at CCA, what is that standard? What does that look like? So we took it upon ourselves this summer and this fall to create that standard, right? And that's when anybody play us, they know they're gonna play us, right? We're gonna play hard. We're gonna play. We might not be the fastest. We may not be the strongest. All right, we may not be the quickest, but guess what? You're going to know you're in the fight when you play CCA lines. And every week in, week out, we're going to compete, and we're going to take it day by day. And that's the standard here. And we want teams, to be honest, I say this in the most humblest way. We want teams to be forced to play us. We don't want the phone calls like after the season when it's time to schedule. I get a ton of phone calls, man. Hey, coach, I got this week open. We want that standard to be, we don't want to play CCA unless we have to. And we create, and I'm not saying we're there yet, but again, that's what we're trying to build here. And we're very excited about that, and the kids are buying into it for sure.
Coach, that's a great philosophy, and I'm wondering the genesis of it. Where did it all come from? And I know you're an Ellender grad. You coached at Ellender for a while as well. But at Nichols, your sophomore year, you led the Southland Conference in yards per carry of 5.7. You led the team in rushing that year. You were second on the team in rushing your senior year. You're a big part of that Nichols football team, doing it on a big level on college football. Is that where you kind of learned that grit and that toughness? Or kind of give us your coaching background, how you developed your philosophy, how you got into coaching in the first place?
Well, just coming out of high school, I wasn't always, like I said, I wasn't always the fastest, the strongest, the biggest. I wasn't, right? And when I went to Nichols, there was running triple option. I wasn't really familiar with that as well, but I worked my tail off, right? And we ended up getting some new coaches, moving to the spread. I was moved to DB, but he asked me to move back to running back. And when I got back into that room, I was last on the depth chart. And by the fall time, I was first on the depth chart, and that was just because of work. And that was because the coach was going to trust me and my standards of what I represent. Every day I'm gonna come to work. So if a guy taking a play off or rep off, I'm not going to do that. So I know my standard, as the way I approach things, and I just want that to rub off on my kids and my coaches as well. So it's been tough. Nothing never was given to me. So you got to earn everything, and I always remind my kids, you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve anything. You got to earn everything that you get, every yard, every first down, every touchdown, every tackle. You got to earn it. Nothing's going to be given. And I think if we have that mindset throughout the season and moving forward, I think we're going to build some not just great football players, but I think we can build some great young men, great leaders of their families, great leaders of the community. And that's what we're going to keep harping on, and that we're going to keep preaching, and hopefully it result in winning more football games.
Well, it's a great philosophy, and it certainly has bode well so far at CCA. Yeah. But let's talk about the rest of this season. I know you got big games like Hannon in a couple weeks, but let's focus on this Friday on the road at Ascension Christian. Set us up with that matchup.
Getting coached by Rohan David. Definitely got a lot of respect for him and in the state of Louisiana for what he did. And just watching the film that we watched so far, we haven't got a chance to meet as a staff. We did watch it because we received it a little early. I always like to get it a little early, so we watched it a little bit. But it's going to be a hard-fought game. They got some skilled guys. From what I've seen, they will be prepared. But we just got to go back to the drawing board, and it will be a challenge for us because, like I said at the beginning, it's different right now. We played the game last night, and it's Monday. So we got to be creative of, how we're going to script practice, how we're going to take care of these guys and still be prepared at the same time. But again, we still creating that standard. Is it like last year? We won 2 games beginning of last year. Are we going to do that, or are we creating a new standard here where every week matters, every week is important, every week we looking to get a win. So that's going to be the message again this week. We definitely got to be mentally prepared, and hopefully we get all heal up a little bit. We got a few guys that dinged up, heal up a little bit, and put our best foot forward and see how it works, see how it goes.
Love it. We're going to leave you on the way out with an open mic. Anything you want us to know about you, your team, your program, Covenant Christian, it's all on you. What would you like people to know about CCA football and Jesse Turner?
Oh, man, that's it's broad, but I'm going to go ahead and answer the best way possible because I don't want to give a bland answer, right? I'm going to say this. I was at public school at Eleanor High School for 10 years. And I loved it over there. It was definitely a family atmosphere. That was my alma mater. But coming here was just such a breath of fresh air. And I'm not saying anything about my past school, but it was such a breath of fresh air. I'm talking about, the kids just buying in, the atmosphere at school. Just when you talk about family, it's really, really family here, man. And if you need anything, man, everybody here support. If you've seen the game last night, we had so much support in the stands, man, and it's awesome. And I love that great following. And the team is very excited. I'm gonna be if I take you guys inside the locker room, you will see how how those guys work. I talked a little bit about our record already, 2-0 right now, but those guys are hungry. I'm gonna be honest. Like after we was breaking it down last night, they was really ready to get back to work. I got a couple of seniors who got early dismissal. Hey, coach, what time is practice? Are we going full pass today? I'm like, nah, man, nah. But that's just a mindset that those guys have, and I'm expecting some success this year, man, and in the future, and we're building it. We're building it, man. So
awesome.
I hope that wasn't too bland, man.
Great. That was not bland. No.
So
look, I threw you a curveball right there at the end, and you're like, hey, okay. Let me get my thoughts together, and bam, you knocked it out of the park. Good job, Coach. Thank you so much. Man. And look, please tell your volleyball coach, Craig Hamner, that I'm coming down to see him soon. We're excited that some of those games are over on VSN. So tell him I'm coming. I know it's been a slow start, but we're going to get there.
I definitely will, man. I definitely will.
Best of luck to you this Friday against Ascension Christian. Thanks so much for being on the show, and good luck the rest of this season, setting the standard at CCA football. You got it.
Most definitely. Thank you, man.
You got it. That's Coach Jesse Turner. It's time for us to take another break. When we return, it's our Farm Bureau Team of the Week. Who's it going to be? Here's a spoiler alert. East St. John Wildcats. We're coming for you after this timeout.
Since 2000, Bayou Granite has grown to be Southeast Louisiana's largest fabricator of stone countertops. From precise laser measurements to state-of-the-art water jet and CNC machines, we can handle your kitchen and bath needs as well as any commercial projects. Let our expert staff design and customize the right material for your home or business. Stop by our new state-of-the-art fabrication facility and showroom today at 9622 East Main Street, or call us at 985-637-4911. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Chris Hogan with Farm Bureau. Real service, real people.
Hi, I'm Andreas Hackman with Farm Bureau. I'd like to wish all the athletes in the river parishes a safe season.
Hi, I'm Robert Palmisano with Farm Bureau. We've been protecting families for over 75 years in the river parishes. Your friends for life.
Darius Coleman, Louisiana Farm Bureau, your company for auto, home, and life.
I'm Will Sermon with St. Charles St. John Parish Farm Bureau. We provide outstanding customer service. Our amazing staff and in-house claims adjusters assure that you'll be taken care of in your time of need. Real service, real people. Proudly serving Louisiana families for over 70 years.
Local, family-owned H. Worth Elevator Service is the name you should choose when it comes to your commercial or residential elevator needs. We offer elevator installation, repair, and maintenance services. Choose professional elevator contractors in Kenner, licensed and insured. 24/7 emergency services available, warranties available. Backed by over 4 generations of elevator mechanics. Call H. Worth Elevator Service for your elevator needs. It's time now for our Farm Bureau Team of the Week, brought to you by Farm Bureaus in St. Charles, St. John Parish, St. James Parish, Lafourche Parish, and Farm Bureau Terrebonne Parish. Our Team of the Week is East St. John. Let's check in with head coach Brandon Brown and his Wildcats.
All right, so we go. Say hut, boom, boom. If he give that sweep, that has nothing to do with you. You have quarterback. You got me? So right now, we're very, very young. We got some guys in some key spots who just hadn't had real varsity experience, you know, and so we've been blessed for the last 2 years to have 2 great senior classes that kind of laid us the way, and so now we got some young guys, and I say young, but I mean young in terms of playing time. We have some juniors and seniors that hadn't touched the field yet, but we also have some freshmen that's really stepping up and playing for us as well, and some sophomores. We have a dynamic freshman and sophomore group that's really, really going to be good in the next couple of years, and so, but right now we're a young team, but we're resilient. Back pedal, drive, flip, flip. Man, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. And that's kind of went to the decision of, postponing or canceling the game against St. Aug. As you say, we got electric trucks trying to get power back over in our buildings. And so, it's kind of been tough. Just any time, you have to go through those natural disasters. And so I know personally for myself, when you think about home and how we lost everything in Ida, it just kind of just cringe when you heard the term hurricane coming back. And so we was a little nervous. And so, school made a decision to kind of shut things down on Tuesday. We try to stay in touch with them through GroupMe and just trying to contact them. And some guys were displaced. Some guys just getting power back in their homes. Like you said, we still dealing with power issues here at the stadium. And so it was tough. It was just tough.
That's the thing about this parish. It's tough. We tough, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to battle every time. My name is Makala Manuel, number 7. I play outside linebacker.
My name is Kendall Walker, number 12, wide receiver. We got a great team, man. We all brothers. Coach is good. Players push each other. Coaches push each other, man. We just want each other to be better.
What do you like about this football team?
Their toughness, their mental toughness. They never give up. Even though we've been losing, they still believe in ourselves, and they still got a motive to win every day. And they come out here and compete every day, and that's what I love about this team.
Set, go! Break down, get up. Go! Break down, get up. Go! Break down, get up. Good. So defensively, we start off with Makala Manuel and Jerry Phillips. Those guys have done an awesome job, and those are the 2 guys that has playing time, playing experience on the defensive side. And so those guys have done a tremendous job for us, and so they've been leading. They've been doing great things, and so we just need the whole group to come together. Quarterback Elijah Murphy. He's a transfer guy, came in from Deshaun, and it's kind of funny. The kid went to middle school here, always lived in the area, but now he's back home, and so. And the thing with him, he just has to figure it out, Just hadn't had that experience yet, and so, but now, it's his turn. It's his turn to lead. He had some debt in the family as far as the past, and so, early on in the year, just tough on a young man, and so, but he's growing up and turning into a real good leader for us. This Thursday game, man, we're really, really excited, and so, Hammond's a really, really, really well-coached football team, and so Coach Buck is doing an awesome job. Defensively, really, really solid on defense. We have Coach Leslie Deemer. Leslie Deemer was here with me.
Leslie Deemer, defensive line. 5th year coaching, 3rd year at East St. John, and released the Hounds.
For several years, as a defensive line coach. Now he's their defense coordinator. I knew from day one when I met him, he's going to be a great one, and it's showing right now over at Ham. He's doing an awesome job with those guys.
There you go. Our opponents, they're a very good team. We're a very good football team. East St. John, we just got to come out, push each other. We just got to want it more than them.
Defense will be key. They're a tough team. But the offense got to click too. So everybody just got to trust in each other, and we got to win the game.
Did you know, St. James Parish Hospital's ER was recently recognized by the American Heart Association for heart attack and stroke care. When minutes count, choose St. James Parish Hospital in Letcher for emergencies. Award-winning quality care close to home.
Since 2000, Bayou Granite has grown to be Southeast Louisiana's largest fabricator of stone countertops. From precise laser measurements to state-of-the-art water jet and CNC machines, we can handle your kitchen and bath needs as well as any commercial projects. Let our expert staff design and customize the right material for your home or business. Stop by our new state-of-the-art fabrication facility and showroom today at 9622 East Main Street or call us at 985-637-4911. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Local, family-owned H. Worth Elevator Service is the name you should choose when it comes to your commercial or residential elevator needs. We offer elevator installation, repair, and maintenance services. Choose professional elevator contractors in Kenner, licensed and insured. 24/7 emergency services available, warranties available. Backed by over 4 generations of elevator mechanics. Call H. Worth Elevator Service for your elevator needs.
At South Louisiana Bank, we're great at banking, but we're great at a lot of other stuff too.
Is that a new rod and reel?
Hey, a girl's got a fish.
We care about the community we live in and the people we serve. We're not just like you. We are you.
Are you balling crawfish?
No, just letting them soak.
We're proud to be here and work for the place and the people we love. South Louisiana Bank. It's in the name.
Hurricanes never do us many favors during football season, especially in the River Bayou areas. With much of Week 2 getting wiped out thanks to Francine, let's go back a decade and relive some of Week 2 from 2014 in our blast from the past. Time for us to take a look around the River Parish with highlights from Week 2. We begin with Riverside and LaVanta as we take a commercial break from the Cajun Grill restaurant here on Belterre Boulevard. We're just getting started on River Parish football. Stick and stay. Here's some highlights for you. Riverside looking to make it 2-0 on the season, hosting LaVanta. This will help. Second play of the game, it's freshman quarterback Jordan Loving finding Von Julian over the top. And how's this for a start? 62 yards for the lightning quick start. Loving and Julian just warming up. Defensively, the Rebels continue to play very good football. Junior D lineman Thaddeus Landry with the run stuff kills a long LaVanta drive. Ball back to the Riverside offense, and here we go again. Loving and Julian would hook up for 2 more long touchdown passes, this one for 51 yards. And mission accomplished. Riverside now 2-0, taking their home opener 37-3. West St. John hosting Bogalusa, and as usual, the Rams playing tough, physical football. The Rams were shut out in the first half, trailed Bogalusa 12-6, but scored twice in the final 4 minutes of the game. One on a 5-yard run from Bradley Bourne. Then, with 2:19 left in the game, Jermoyne Green connected with Morel Bartholomew for the game winner. West St. John now 2-0, beating Bogalusa 19-12. At St. Charles, Frank Monica and his Comets looking to snap East Jefferson's 16-game win streak. And on this night, his players rose to the challenge. Justin Luke, this guy continues to smell the end zone. His 4th touchdown of the season. St. Charles led 35-14. Aaron Lewis also has 4 touchdowns on the season, and he got all 4 in this game. Here's his 4th, to go along with 150 yards rushing. The Comets having their way with the defending 4A state champs. Looking for the exclamation point? This will do. Aaron's little brother, Eric Lewis, with the interception, and he's going to return it all the way. 64 yards for the score. St. Charles 2-0 with the statement win, 49-14 over East Jefferson. At Letcher, a late defensive stop proved to be a momentum changer against McDonough 35. Ricky Ross, the big tackle for loss. Bulldogs trailed by 12 going to the fourth quarter. Kendrick Jackson cuts that in half with the point-blank touchdown run. Ensuing drive, Ron Eagles going forward on 4th and 1, and look at this. Ball's on the turf, and Paul Joseph is all over it. He knows what to do with it, and just like that, Lutcher had the lead 26-25. Later, it was Jontre Kirkland connecting with Destin Porter out of the backfield, and Porter's going to go all the way. Lutcher was up 32-25. McDonough 35 would tie it. This one goes to overtime, but the Bulldogs would not be denied. In OT, Kirkland keeps it for the game-tying touchdown. They needed the extra point from Nick Ramaday, and he gets it. 40-39. Lutcher wins in overtime.
I go back to the third quarter. They're driving right down the field, and I don't know where the Dingoes found the gumption or the savvy, whatever it is, but they made that stop, and when they made that stop, I told them we was winning this football game.
Destrehan looking to continue its dominance, hosting Helen Cox, and once again, the Wildcats getting great play in every phase of the game. Defensively, that's outside linebacker Alan Pittman with the sack. Offensively, the early River Parish football rushing leader, Will Matthews, got the scoring underway, taking it home from 4 yards out. Destrehan would score 5 touchdowns in the first half alone. Sophomore quarterback Marquise Derensburg threw for 2 touchdowns and rushed for another in the first half. This one a 28-yarder to John Williams, who continues to dazzle on the field. Second half, and here's your proverbial backbreaker. Kirk Merritt already had a touchdown reception to his credit. Now you can add a kickoff return for a touchdown. Destrehan won by 40 in the season opener, make it 41 against Helen Cox. 48-7, the final. What a night for football at Hahnville's Tiger Stadium. Visiting 2-time defending state champs Rummel, facing a Hahnville team led by first-year head coach Nick Saltaframaggio, who after a perfect season and state championship last year at East Jefferson, had a 16-game win streak heading into this one. How fired up were the Tigers? Up 17-10 late first half, and watch the reaction after the missed field goal attempt. That's Drew Dunn powering in from point-blank range on the first play of the fourth quarter. We're tied at 24. Tigers now with the momentum, and Mike Neal moving the offense down the field. A couple of quick strikes to Brandon Singleton, and with 34 seconds left to play, Hahnville is in field goal range. Freshman Matthew Boyer with the honors, but his kick is blocked, and this game is headed to overtime, tied at 24. Off to a third overtime we go. Hahnville on offense first. On 4th down, missing a golden opportunity when the pass is dropped in the end zone, so now it's Rummel's chance. This time, no missed opportunities. It's Phillips racing into the end zone, and the Raiders pull off the dramatic win at Tiger Stadium again. 37-31 in triple overtime, the final. Time to say goodbye on another week here on Up the River, Down the Bayou. But again, thanks to all the coaches who built time into their schedule to be on the show with us this week. Again, getting back to normal after Hurricane Francine did its damage on week 2 of the high school football season, as well as to a lot of areas in South Louisiana. Thanks to LaVanta Davis of St. James and head coach Jesse Turner of Covenant Christian Academy. For our director-producer Justin Thomas, I'm Eric Ritchie, saying so long, everyone. We'll see you next time here on Up the River, Down the Bayou.